I'm Luke Westaway, and today I'm going to tell you about the history of Samsung. Right, in a bold visual metaphor for the passage of time, what say we take a walk and talk? Now, today we know Samsung for making all sorts of consumer electronics like mobile phones, microwaves and televisions, but the company dates back to well before the age of affordable gadgets. Samsung was founded in 1938 in the town of Daegu, South Korea by an enterprising chap called Lee Byung-chul. As a fledgling firm, the company dealt mostly in trade exports, selling groceries like fruits, vegetables and dried fish. In 1947, Lee moved his headquarters to Seoul, but was forced to leave when the Korean War broke out, moving out of the city to found a sugar refinery and also getting into the textiles trade. In the wake of the Korean War, the company grew, getting involved in loads of other industries, but it wasn't until 1969 that Samsung Group got stuck into electronics, creating a bunch of subdivisions specifically dedicated to creating tech. The first gadget the company made was a black and white TV, the catchily named P3202. By 1976, Samsung had produced 1 million black and white tellies. This was the beginning of Samsung creating electronics, but what you might not know is that crafting gadgets is only part of what the company's involved in. For example, did you know that Samsung owns South Korea's largest theme park? It's called Everland and it plays host to the T-Express, the world's steepest wooden roller coaster. Not weird enough? How about some seriously big vehicles? Check out this road excavator. This is the Samsung SE170. Samsung's also into boats through another of its subsidiaries, Samsung Heavy Industries, which makes massive tankers and passenger ships that make even the Galaxy Note look small. As an aside, Samsung Heavy Industries is headquartered in Samsung Town, an office park in Seoul that oddly enough is twinned with Disneyland Paris and Sony World in Tokyo. But all of that pales into insignificance compared to Samsung TechWin, another subsidiary of Samsung Group that alongside digital cameras has made automated guard robots and the K9 Thunder 155mm howitzer. That's right, it's a Samsung tank. Moving back to less menacing tech, in 1979 Samsung began mass production of microwaves. In 1980 it started making air conditioners, and in 1983 personal computers. From there, Samsung went on to become one of the biggest brands in tech, and today Samsung Electronics employs approximately 160,000 people. That's loads. So Samsung's been a big tech brand for ages, but the reason we're talking about it today is because of what the company's doing with smartphones and tablets. In 2010, Samsung brought out the Samsung Galaxy S, and it was one of the best Android phones we'd ever seen. We loved the 4-inch Super AMOLED screen and the 1 GHz processor, which made web browsing and running apps pleasingly speedy. The same year, the Samsung Galaxy Tab came out, a 7-inch alternative to Apple's iPad. Good stuff, but it wasn't until 2011 that Samsung completed its masterpiece. This is the Samsung Galaxy S2, arguably the best phone ever made, upping the screen size to 4.3 inches and introducing a 1.2 GHz dual-core processor. And despite all that and an 8-megapixel camera, it's less than 9mm thick and so light that you could almost forget that you're holding it. We did try to make one out of snow, but it's rubbish. Samsung must be doing something right when it comes to smartphones, because Google's chosen the company to make its last two flagship Android mobiles, the Nexus S and the Samsung Galaxy Nexus, which has a 720p screen and the honour of being the first mobile to run Ice Cream Sandwich, currently the latest version of Android. Thanks to a series of great gadgets, Samsung is kind of a big deal right now, and it's well placed to take on the might of Apple. But can it keep its edge when there's so much competition around? We'll be keeping a close eye on what happens next. In the meantime, let us know what you think in the comments below or on our Facebook page. Now get down from there!